personal goals outside of a
Yeah.
championship is obviously everybody like, MVP, like, why can't it be me? I think that's something that I've always prided myself in being able to be the best. You don't train to be second or third, you train to be the top.
What's going on, guys? This is Brian Jones from PopCulture.com. And joining me today is one of the top stars in the NBA. He's a former slam dunk champion, two-time NBA All-Star, and helped the Utah Jazz earn the number one seed in the Western Conference of this past season's NBA playoffs, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Thank you so much for doing this. But wanted to start off with this first. You're doing something really cool. You're teaming up with Clorox to help support teachers as kids go back to school this season. You're making sure that teachers get everything they need to have a very fun and safe school year. And with your mom being a school teacher, did that play into a factor in partnering with Clorox?
Yeah, 100%. I tell the story, I think it was 2 years ago,
Yeah.
right before she retired from teaching, right when COVID really hit, right after I kind of in that gap where I had it, when I was at the house for 3 months, I watched my mom, work from the house, and I had an appreciation for teachers and what my mom did, but when you sit there and watch, the continuous, hours put into slideshows and, doing these different things and having to do it virtually, and then going to the store, picking up supplies, I think that for me was like, man, like, she's working her tail off, and I just I had a greater appreciation for teachers after that. And, when we decided to team up with Clorox, just being able to help teachers out, teachers are, the unsung heroes, teachers who are people who can just continue to just do it out of their own heart, out of love, and I think they spend around $500 to $600 out of their own pocket for supplies and for school supplies. And that just in its own just speaks to how teachers, are so loving and caring. And for me, being able to partner with my mom as well, being able to partner with Clorox, and they're actually we're giving $1 million to Donor Choose, which is basically going to help with, teachers, throughout the year with their school supplies, providing kids internet, food, whatever it may be. And I think that in itself speaks volumes to what Clorox stands for and what we stand for as well.
Absolutely. And other than your mom, who are some of the other teachers or even coaches that have made an impact on your life and your career?
Oh man. So outside of my mom, you said, right?
Yeah.
Got to give a shout out to my high school coach, Coach Smith, Jason Smith from Brewster Academy, Miss Teteso, who was my third grade teacher, Miss Baytops, who her last name is in Baytops, and Miss Paul, I believe is her last name. She got married. Miss Peart. I say those three names in particular because I was my mom calls it energetic. I was just all over the place as a kid. Like I said before, my grades got better as I got older. But if you taught me when I was in like the third grade, I appreciate you even more because I was a bit of a, just running around like a chicken with its head cut off. But I have a great appreciation for those three because they held me accountable at such a young age. And this is why I feel like we are doing this because you remember as a kid, you remember those teachers. And I'm 25 now, and that was when I was 8, 9. You remember those teachers, and that's 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, and even high school as well. You remember those teachers. You remember those people that helped you on your journey. And granted, it didn't work necessarily in that moment, but those lessons and those reminders, you get to when you're older now, you remember those things. You remember those things, and they help you in your everyday life.
Yeah, and your mom and those three teachers you mentioned help you have success in college and in the pros. Had a standout season with the Utah Jazz, and not as I mentioned, the Jazz earned the number one seed, but came up a little bit short in the playoffs, lost to the Los Angeles Clippers. What's the biggest thing that you and the Jazz took from just the playoffs and the loss in the Clippers in the second round?
I think I think they did a good job, of making, adjustments defensively to kind of try and stop us. I think, there were things that we tried to execute, but I think we didn't do a good enough job. And it was tough. Obviously, we can say I was hurt, Mike was hurt, but at the end of the day, give your hats off to the LA. You know, they won the series, but there's certain things we can definitely do. I think attacking switches is something that we can definitely improve on. And being able to guard. You know, I don't think we did a too good of a job on that series in particular. And I think that's something we can definitely continue to build on. We've added pieces that'll help with both of those things. And, you know, I think we're really excited as a group to attack this year.
Yeah. And when looking back on the 2020-21 season for you, what would you say is the biggest aspect of your game that you improved on?
For this season coming up.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. This season coming up. Yeah.
That I've improved on the most. I think, you know, being able to shoot off the dribble, you know, being able to be a threat from anywhere on the court. You know, you look at, you know, obviously Steph and Dame, even Trey are different. You know, they're shooting from the low consistently, you know, but just being able to be a threat as soon as you get over half court, and not necessarily just to score, but being able to create and facilitate and find guys, you know, when needed, and being able to initiate the offense and create for others as well.
Mm-hmm. And some of the things that you mentioned about the loss to the Clippers, hopefully that builds into what you guys are able to do next season. So with that said, do you think the Jazz has the ability, because of what you guys have done over the past couple of seasons, to be able to get over that hump and reach the finals for the first time since 1998?
Yeah, I didn't know it was that long, but yeah. I think, you know, it's something that, you know, I said it last year, you know, like losing in the first round is just not acceptable. And, you know, I've never won in the second round. You know, now the goal is conference finals and finals. You know, that's it. You know, that's the bar where we're at. And I think for us, I think everybody in that locker room has the same mindset. You know, so it's easy to come in with that mindset, you know, when everybody's on the same agenda, the same page. And, you know, the last two playoff series really left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. So I think, you know, whether it was losing 3-1 to Denver, and then this one, the way it ended, I think is definitely, you know, being up 2-0 in a situation where we felt like we had control and, you know, kind of let the league get away. I think, you know, we're coming back with the vengeance, but obviously, you know, I can say that we got to go out there and put the work in and continue to do it because teams are loading up around us. You know, Golden State's back. You know, LA is obviously doing what they're doing, but we got to be ready. You know, I think Phoenix is the defending conference champions. So we got to find a way to continue to build and get better. But I think we have the pieces to do it. You know, just got to stay healthy for one and continue to put the work in.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned those teams, specifically the Lakers, because they've gotten a lot of attention, obviously, with LeBron and Anthony Davis. They added Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook. So they're doing everything they can to get back on top. But do you look at them as the biggest threat, or is it the fact that because, you know, Phoenix, as you mentioned, the Western Conference champions, and your team being the number one seed this past season, is it the fact that, you know, even though LA has added those key guys, but at the same time, you know, with you guys being the number one seed, everyone's going to be gunning after you. So do you think everyone's going to be the biggest threat to you in terms of what you guys are going to do this season?
I think so for sure. I think, you know, everybody talks about LA, it's LA. You know, I mean, everybody speaks on it, you know, whether they have everybody or they don't. It's just how it is. But, you know, I think for us, you know, Phoenix is the top dog. They won the conference. You know, they won the conference. You know, obviously we had the best record, but I think everybody's a threat. You know, that's the great thing about the West is like, you know, anybody on any given year, any given chance, like, you know, it's anybody's, you know, conference. You know, I couldn't say, and I don't think and I don't mean this in any disrespect, but I don't think people would have thought Phoenix would have been where they were at. You know, if you start the year, you know, people didn't have us making the playoffs last year. Next, you know, we're number one seed. So for me to say now, like, this person is the biggest threat or this team is the biggest threat, you know, you can't really do that because when you know, you roll the ball out for those 82 games, you know, things are different. Injuries happen, you know, chemistry, whatever it may be, things happen, you know. So for us, we got to just worry about what we can control and what we do. We can't really worry about what's going on around us. And like I said, we've made some good adjustments, you know, with bringing pieces in, you know, with guys in, and that can definitely help to what we have going on. And, you know, for our guys who are already there, just elevating our games as well.
Of course. And the last question for me before I let you go is, other than helping the Jazz get to and win the NBA Finals this upcoming season, what are some of the goals you have for 2021, 2022?
I mean, personal goals outside of a championship is obviously everybody, like, you know, MVP, you know, like why can't it be me? I think that's something that I've always prided myself in being able to be the best. You don't train to be second or third. You train to be the top, number one. And I think that's something that I can definitely do and attain. But through that comes team success. I don't get any of that without my teammates. I don't get any of that with our team success. So, if I'm gunning for MVP and we're in 8th, 9th place, and it's not doing anybody any good. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I focus on winning and help my teammates as much as I can and continuing to win, and everything else will kind of fall into line.
No doubt about that. Well, Donovan, I wish you all the success this upcoming season. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. And for more on Donovan and all your favorite sports stars, be sure to keep it locked right here on popculture.com.